Spending 8 hours a day on TikTok is not good for you no matter what your goals are, whether that be trying to start a business, trying to get good grades in school, or even just like doing something that makes a positive impact on the world. And I know this better than anyone because in the past I would spend literally 8 hours, literally 1/3 of my 24-hour day on TikTok. That's like what my screen time would say. I'd be lying in bed scrolling on TikTok for literally hours to the point where my dopamine receptors are so fucking fried where I didn't even want to watch these videos anymore, but I would keep scrolling anyways. I would literally watch the first 5 seconds of the video and my short ass attention span would get bored and I'd scroll to the next video and watch the first like 5 seconds of that and then I'd just get bored again and then I'd scroll again and again and again. Even when there's like literally no point in me scrolling just because like I'm not even watching the video, but I still just like keep scrolling because of the tiny sap of dopamine that each new video gives me. And that's just like absolutely absurd. Like, it's like I had no control over my own brain where like I'm not even interested in watching these videos yet. Like my body is still just like scrolling and scrolling and scrolling. I'd be lying on my bed, like on my stomach, so I'd be holding my phone like this, and I'd be scrolling so long to the point where my like elbows and my shoulder joints would be tired from supporting the weight of my upper body. And then so I'd like lie on like the side of my body and then like my body would feel weird from lying out in that position for so long just from like scrolling all the TikToks, and then I'd like switch positions again. And by the time I'd stop scrolling, it'd usually be around 2 a.m. and I usually try and sleep at around 11 or 12. I would look up, see that it's 2 a.m. and be like, fuck it, and just like keep scrolling even though I know that I should go to bed at this point. And I would end up going to bed at around 4 or 5 or even like 6 a.m. when like my eyelids were literally so heavy I could not physically keep my eyes open because they're so tired. And this whole like 6-7 hour period from my bedtime at around 11 or 12 to the point where like the sun is fucking rising at 6 a.m. I'm just constantly scrolling on TikTok for the whole like 6-7 hour period. And it'd be frustrating because like the next morning I would wake up and I'd like brush my teeth and everything, and the first thing I would see on my phone is that my screen time was 6 hours for the day and it's all on TikTok. I literally just woken up and my screen time is 6 hours. And like obviously it's because like between 12 and 6 like it's like technically the next day. Yeah, but imagine just like waking up and the first thing you see is that you have 6 hours of screen time on TikTok. And that's just so absurdly terrible. And I have dreams I want to accomplish. Like I want to make a big positive impact on the world, and I want to build like a successful business, have good relationships, and just have like FU money. And it's like, how am I even supposed to come close to achieving that when I literally fry my attention span and my dopamine receptors for literally like 1/3 of my 24-hour day, and I'm staying up until the sun rises scrolling on TikTok? And the answer is I won't. If I kept doing all that, I would simply not achieve my dreams. I would not become the person I would want to be. I would not become the best version of myself, and I'd really just live like a shadow of what my potential could be. And that's terrible. That's like such a scary thing to think about if you really just like sit down and like think about that right now. And that's why it's so extremely important where if you can relate to like my story at all, you need to really sit down and change your ways. And the good news is clicking on this video and actually learning is step 1 in changing your ways. And if you clicked on this video, chances are you don't want to be like an average person and you want to be like better than average and be successful, right? And again, you're not going to accomplish that from scrolling on TikTok until 6 a.m. every morning. And that might sound like harsh, like saying all this, saying you won't achieve your dreams, but this is really just like me speaking to like my past self, the dumbass like Timothy who would literally stay up until 6 a.m. scrolling on TikTok. And so I really want you to think about just not being able to achieve your dreams just because you couldn't stop watching TikTok. Like, how absurdly stupid is that? The good news is that I do have some tips and actionable steps you can take to break this habit, but it will be hard and it will take time. If you think about it, you've built this habit of overindulging in TikTok or YouTube or whatever your vice may be over the span of a few months or even a few years, so you're not going to be able to just break those habits in like a day or a week even. To start off, there are some tools that you can use and some apps that you can download on your iPhone, such as like the screen time limiter in the settings. And these will help because they'll add more friction into you actually going on TikTok, so you'll like become less likely to actually use TikTok. But at the very end of the day, these are just like tools that are like quite easy for you to bypass realistically. So these are really just tools to help you overindulge less, while you kind of like change your brain and change your actual habits. So as for these tools that you can apply right now, one is the screen time widget that you can kind of just like, I have it added to my home screen, and that just kind of lets me like keep an eye on how much time I'm actually spending on TikTok, and it always like brings to the top of my mind that like I'm trying to actively reduce my time on like TikTok or whatever. The second thing, in iPhone general settings, there's a way to add like app limits to like limit the amount of time you spend on the app. And so I have mine for TikTok set to like 30 minutes or something. And again, this is very easy to bypass because you can literally just hit like ignore limit when it comes up, but it does again add more friction. And so like over time that should help. And this is probably one of the easiest things to actually implement right now. So I really encourage you to take this like actionable step and literally pause this video and like go to the iPhone settings and like the app limiter and just set like a time limit for TikTok. The next tool you can use, there are literally like apps, I think it's called like 1 sec or whatever, where you kind of use like the iPhone shortcuts / automations thing, and you kind of like make an automation where if you click TikTok, that kind of acts as the trigger for this automation, and then it switched to this like 1 second app, and it makes you like take a deep breath, and like it makes you like wait like 5 seconds before you can like open TikTok. And like if you try and like bypass it by like, you know, opening TikTok, it like brings you back the timer and restarts the timer, etc. And so this kind of just gives you like a window of like presence where you can like actively make the decision to like not actually scroll on TikTok. Again, this is pretty easy to bypass. If your like degenerate brain really wanted to, you could just like delete the app and delete the shortcut. But again, it helps add more friction, and that makes you go on TikTok less. The final thing you can do is to set your whole phone to grayscale, and what this means is that everything on your phone is just gray. And you can do this in like also in the iPhone settings somewhere. And this makes TikTok and basically all other social media a lot less enticing, because the color is like a big part of what draws your brain and like your attention and hooks your like dopamine receptors. Again, this one is also pretty easy to bypass if you really wanted to, and it's just a tool. A lot of these tools are pretty like unorthodox and weird, and you might think it's like really strange that I have an app, like a timer app, that like literally prevents me from going on TikTok. But that should kind of give you like an idea of the lengths I've gone to like not spend 8 hours a day on TikTok. And if this is a problem that you face, then like these are the lengths that you should also go to. So after you have all these tools set up, the next step is to actually change yourself and rewire your brain. So the first thing you can do is sit down and really think about when you actually open TikTok. And I want you to grab like a notebook and a pen or something and actually just like write down like times you go on TikTok. Like for me, these are like whenever I go to the bathroom and I'm on the toilet, then I tend to bring my phone and open TikTok. Right before I go to bed, I kind of like to use like TikTok to unwind, even though it's like not really productive at all. And I also used to go on TikTok as like a break during like work sessions to kind of help my brain relax, which is complete bullshit, because like your brain is still like working when you're like on TikTok. It's like the only time your brain is actually like resting is when you just like sit there and do nothing. So you might have some similar ones to me, or you might have something like in the morning when you just wake up, etc. Whatever it is, write all of these down on a piece of paper, or like if you even have to like do it on like Notion or whatever, right? For each of these instances where you actually open TikTok, write down a way to prevent that, or come up with like an alternative to what you can do instead of like scrolling on TikTok. So for example, to combat me like bringing my phone to the toilet and scrolling, I literally just don't bring my phone to the toilet, and I kind of just like force myself to like sit there and just like take a dump in peace. Another example, instead of using TikTok at night to kind of unwind, I've come to the habit of just like reading a few chapters of a book instead, and I keep my phone like away from my bed to kind of just like limit the temptation. So I want you to think about like alternative things you can do, or just like things you can prevent yourself from going on TikTok, and really think about how you can like add friction to the action of you going on TikTok. So this is another actionable step that you should take right now. Like pause this video, think about when you go on TikTok, and then for each of these write down like a way to prevent that, or like an alternative. And don't give me any of that like, oh, I'll just like do this later, or like I'll do this after the video. Like you won't. Like take action now. Like pause this video right now and take action, or like nothing will change. Now that you've done that, start implementing those things today. Chances are you're probably watching this during the afternoon or even the evening. So if you're like me and you like to use TikTok before bed, literally keep your phone like away from your bed, and like if you use your phone for an alarm, like fair enough, just set your alarm and then just like leave your phone like on the table somewhere, and just like don't touch your phone for the rest of the night. And this like also helps because like in the morning, like you'll have to like get up to like shut off your alarm, right? And so instead of scrolling on TikTok, you can read a few chapters of a book, or even just like sit there. Like this sounds really weird, but literally just like sit there and do nothing for like 10 minutes, 15 minutes. And you might feel like that's kind of a waste of time, but you actively sitting there doing nothing instead of scrolling on TikTok is you actively like breaking that bad habit of being addicted to TikTok. So now that you've done that, the final step is to improve your mental health and become more present. Now, what exactly does this mean, and how will this help me not spend 8 hours a day on TikTok like a little like degenerate monkey? Being present is important, because if you're like perfectly present and like your like presence level is at like 100, then while you're scrolling on TikTok, you'll always have like the thought or like the awareness in your head where like, oh, like I'm just a person like scrolling on my phone right now. And if there's something more important that you need to do, you'll be aware that like, oh, I need to like go do work or like go to the gym or something, and you'll just like end up going to do that thing because your brain will realize that it's more important than like scrolling on TikTok. But unfortunately, like none of us are even close to being at that like level 100 of presence yet, including myself. Like I'm probably only at like level like 6 or 7 or something out of 100. For me personally, whenever I start scrolling on TikTok, every few minutes I'll have like the thought or like kind of become like aware that, oh, I'm scrolling on TikTok. And so like I'll like stop paying attention to the video, and like my focus will be like in my brain where, oh, I'm scrolling on TikTok, and my next thought will be, oh, like I should be like going to the gym, or I should go do work. And then maybe like 1/3 of the time when I have that thought of, oh, I should go to the gym or go do work, like I'll actually like get up and like stop scrolling on TikTok and like go to the gym or like go to work. And in doing so, I prevent myself from scrolling for like another few hours and my brain from rotting another few IQ points. And so as I increase my presence level more and more, that like awareness and like thought will occur to me like more often of, oh, like I'm literally just going here on TikTok when I could be doing something else. And like my like conversion rate, if you will, of me actually going and doing something productive will also increase as I increase my presence level. And so obviously if you have more of these thoughts and like the amount of times that you act on these thoughts increase, then like you'll spend more time like not scrolling on TikTok and actually doing something productive. Essentially, I'll become better at stopping myself from just like doom scrolling. And the way to increase this presence level and to have these thoughts more often is to meditate. I just do 10 to 20 minutes every morning and I use the Oak app. Like this is not sponsored or anything. This is personally the app that I use. The icon is like tan with like a green leaf or something. But I literally just do like the 15-minute guided meditation, and you should download this app right now, and you can just start with like the 10-minute one. To be honest, when you first start meditating, you probably won't notice a big difference for a few weeks or even like a few months. But the benefits of meditating are so positive that it's probably something that you want to be doing for the rest of your life anyways. So you should get in the habit of doing it. Just work it into your morning routine by like stacking it right after like whatever else you do in the morning. So for me personally, I always like finish my skincare routine and then like I meditate right afterwards. So here's another actionable step you can take right now. Literally go on your phone, go into the App Store and download the Oak meditation app, or like whatever other meditation app that you want. So now that you've downloaded that app, we should be near the end of the video. So by the time the video finishes, the app should be done and good to go. And so what I want you to do is literally in the chair or like bed or whatever that you're in right now, do like a 5 or 10 minute guided meditation. Like honestly, like if you really want to like take massive action, just like close this video right now and just like do the meditation session. Like even though it'll hurt like my like YouTube retention and video performance and analytics or whatever, helping you is more important. And so you can literally just like close this video, cut me off mid-sentence if you need to. I'll just be recapping what I've already covered in the past of this video and just go meditate. Okay, anyways, if you've already watched this far, you should have already done like the following activities, which is set your app limits in your iPhone for like TikTok or Instagram or whatever app. Sit and think about when you actually open TikTok or Instagram or whatever, and come up with like preventative methods or alternatives that you can do instead of like doing this like degenerate activity. And then finally, download the Oak app and literally like go meditate right now. If you've actually done all of these things and you've taken action on each of these steps, then good work, bro. I'm proud of you because you are actually like ahead of like 95% of the people that click on this video. So join my Discord. Thanks for watching and go meditate right now.